Hello and welcome back to Blues Focus. We're back with Opposition View. I'm Harry and we're joined by Dan from the Yellow Block Podcast. How are you doing, Dan, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Thanks, Harry. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no bother, mate. So, for the Birmingham fans who maybe haven't seen much of Peterborough aside from the trip last year, summarise how your first season back in the league's been.
Uh, Pretty much a one and done affair, I think, really. Bar some outstanding results against some difficult opposition, the majority of our games have been lackluster at best. I think the fairest way to summarise it is we haven't turned up. And it doesn't look like we're likely to anytime soon. The boys have just lost it. You look at the atmosphere, just on the pitch, and it's no one wants to be there. So yeah, every game that comes up is a dread now rather than an excitement, which is quite a contrast from when you guys came to us at the start of the year.
Yeah, different than what you expected when you first came up, or
A little bit, but not in terms of we didn't come in naively, but coming out of last season, obviously we had a pretty good team for League One. The owners promised substantial investment and said that we were going to aim for a sort of bottom mid-table finish. Your owners say that to you and you think, all right, okay, nice, that sounds good. And then they start recruiting well. You start bringing these players that look decent and sound decent, but then from game one it was apparent that the squad wasn't going to be enough. So I don't know. It's a weird one this year. It really is. And we've played half the season without a striker, for Christ's sake. JCH isn't really doing much, and he's not really been on the pitch at all for half of the season. We've been playing with Sammy Smodics up top, and anyone who knows Sammy Smodics knows he's a attacking midfielder at best. So yeah, it's difficult to gauge what we were expecting, but I don't think it was this.
Yeah, well, I remember when you guys first came up originally, even the season before that. I remember JCH was prolific in League One. I knew there was a lot of buzz around him when you first came up. And I feel like it's just not hitting. He's just not been able to change to the league. I might be wrong there.
No, I think it was around 35 all comps, over 30 in the league. One of the top scorers in England, not just in League One. So he was on fire last year. You couldn't stop him. He had several hat tricks, God knows how many braces, and he was, as you say, prolific. He was dominant in the air, and you couldn't muscle him off the ball in the box even if it was at his feet. And then you compare it with this season, I don't think he's even got in the opposition box more than twice a game. And to be fair, it might not all be on him. It could be the style that we're playing. But you couldn't really put a style on it. Our club commentator, Franny Green, some Birmingham fans might know him. He used to play for us. He's basically coming into these games saying, we haven't got an identity. We get the ball back from defensive positions and we don't even know what we're going to do with it. We're just sort of panicking and lumping it forward because we don't know whether we want to control it. We don't know whether we want to pump it forward and be direct. There's nothing about us right now. We're just chasing games constantly and trying to get, lucky 0-0 draws because that's all we can do. We can't do that.
I think a lot of Blues fans definitely know that feeling. On probably a more positive note, who do you think someone that we should be looking out for, someone that Blues fans should be a bit wary of tomorrow?
Ronnie Edwards in central defence. He's very young. I think he's only 18 or 19. But, he's on the radar of several Premier League clubs. He's already a starter in our team. He's a ball-playing defender. He will embarrass some of your strikers. And he is very, very, very gifted for a centre defender. To be honest, I think we'll struggle to keep him much longer.
Yeah, I understand that. And if Premier League clubs are sniffing around him already, you would know there's a limited time on how long he's going to be there. And I suppose this kind of is a bit of a follow-up question if you're talking about your defence. You've only been able to win by more than one goal on one occasion this season. Obviously, that was against us, granted. But where are these issues coming from? Is it mainly defensive or going forward or a bit of both?
No, it's going forward. It's certainly going forward. Yeah, the game against you guys was a bit of a bouncer for us. Obviously, I mean, I think it was one of our highest home crowds that wasn't a derby. So not against like Northampton or Cambridge for God several years. And it eclipsed the game against Derby, which we'd had a fair few in for as well. So the place was bouncing, which for us, I guess we're not really used to. We've got obviously the crowd and the terrace, which are quite loud, but other than that, it's a granddad stadium. So to have an atmosphere like that at London Road, it was fantastic. So I think that carried us a little bit. Obviously our performances at home have been a lot better than our away performances anyway. And I don't want to say it was a one-off because, with respect, we played you off the park.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
We were fantastic. Yeah, we were fantastic that day. I mean, I was in the ground and it was one of the best games I can remember Posh playing. So, that's kind of wary considering we haven't played like that again for the rest of the year. It's a strange one. But like I say, the results that we have got have been fantastic and they've always been at home apart from the Hull result. We beat QPR, we got a good draw against Huddersfield. We held Fulham to 1-0, which, I mean, it's still a loss, but it's a bloody achievement, based on what they're doing to other teams.
Of course, yeah.
And yeah, it's just, it's been a long time since we've done anything like that. So, I mean, if I was a Birmingham fan coming into this game, I'd be excited to say the least, because even for a team that's where you are right now and hit by the injuries that you are going to do some damage against us, quite frankly. And it's going to be tough to watch.
I would agree, but that would be famous last words.
Do you know what? It'd be a lovely time for us to turn it over,
obviously
coming from the Posh fans, but I just can't see it. We're still playing without striker. Clark Harris, you'd like to think he's match fit by now, but he still can't get on the pitch, which should sort of summarise where we are. We've brought in Callum Morton from West Brom on loan. He's injured till the second week in Feb, I think. So, that's a strange signing. Dembele is not a striker, he's a winger. We're playing him up top. We're playing Smolix up top, and he's an attacking midfielder. And Jack Marriott's just coming back from injury, but he's nowhere near fit. So we've got no outlet. And it will be, 10 men behind the ball until you finally score, and then we'll capitulate, and you'll probably score 3 more.
With Jack Marriott, I actually haven't got this written down, but I remember when he signed from Derby, it was kind of it was a big deal. And
massive deal for Posh fans.
Of course, yeah. And has it been one big injury, or has it been a lot of like small injuries, not being able to finally get match fit?
No, I think anyone who's familiar with Jack, and I say with the utmost respect because I love the boy, but he's made of glass. We a couple of years ago, and he was fantastic for us. Sold into Derby, and I think he got injured within a couple of weeks, and struggled to play the first year. Then Frank Lampard came in and didn't like him, so he didn't play again. So I think it's just a combination of unlucky bouts of injury, which there've been a lot. I mean, we've only had him, obviously for this season back. He got injured when he first came, and wasn't quite match fit, I don't think, for the first game of the season. Just training knocks. And then obviously in September, I think he tore his hamstring. So he's been out ever since September now. So look, I hope he comes back. I hope he changes stuff. I hope he starts scoring because we all know he's capable of it. But we don't want to push him back and he'd do something again. The likelihood is he'll be injured anyway. So.
And I know it's probably not the best thing to think of, but on the chance that you do end up in League One next season, he'll do very well there.
I think it's a very likely chance we end up in League One next season. To be honest, I still think Jack Marriott is a little bit above us. So I think we'll struggle to keep him in League One. I really do.
Yeah.
It's a problem for him, isn't it? Because he's a fantastic player. He's got really rotten luck with injuries.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't know. All it takes is for one team, in the lower half to just take a chance on him, and he'll start doing the business.
Well, next thing I've got here is obviously you've not won a game in this league this year, and your last win being the 11th of December against Millwall at home, and you have to track back quite a bit far back for your last away win being 2-1 against Hull in October. How important is it in terms of you staying in this league that you come away with something when you come to St Andrews?
For us, it's incredibly important. But I mean, our games for the last sort of, how I want to say 5 weeks have been incredibly important. The fans were starting to turn at the start of December, and then obviously, we got that result against a Millwall, and it was a bit of a stopgap. But we need to start picking up results. We need to do it quickly. Even draws at this point will help us. We spoke about it on our podcast at the start of the season. We need to average about 1.1 points a game, based on the average of the last 15 years. Because obviously, anyone who knows anything about the Championship in general will know that Posh were the team with the highest points total to ever be relegated from the Championship for about 25 years. So, that aside, that 1 point tally, it's been majoritively, 45 points is safe. I think we're on 19 at the moment from over halfway. So we've got a long way to go. Any result will do right now. We've got a couple of games coming up, obviously Birmingham, Cardiff, and I think we play someone else in the bottom half. I forget, to be honest. I'm sorry. But we've also got the run of Sheffield United and Bournemouth and Fulham coming up again. So
yeah, no one in the league looks forward to that.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody. It's just massive goal per class in between, the top 3-4 teams in the league and then everybody else.
I suppose a follow-on question for that.
Address it.
Yeah, sorry. I suppose a follow-on question for that, and I think you've alluded to it slightly. Where do you believe you'll finish this season?
'23rd. I think Derby will be fine. I think they'll finish probably 20th, 19th. I think it'll be Barnsley, us, and Reading.
I could see that. Is that assuming that Rooney stays and doesn't end up going to Everton, or do you not think that makes that much of a difference?
No, I think it makes massive difference. I mean, I think he can't go at the moment. If I'm correct, he's not got his Euro A coaching license, so he can't actually coach in the Premier League at the moment. So, barring some sort of miracle on his part, to get that in the next couple of weeks, I can't see it happening. To be perfectly honest, I imagine he'll wait till the summer. So I honestly think he'll stay, and they'll be all the better for it. If he doesn't stay, then fantastic, that's brilliant. Get any old bum off the streets and let him go down. And I know Derby fans are like that, but quite frankly, I don't really care. I want Posh to stay up. Oh,
of course, yeah. It's all good respecting Derby and everything they've had to go through this season, but it's every team for themselves at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. And any more points deductions anyone wants to throw about, bring it on. Need all the help we can get.
Don't tell the EFL that. I'll be back on our case again. I suppose final question. What is your score prediction for the game then?
3-1 to you.
I think that's
yeah. I can't see us scoring more than one, and I can't see us winning.
I can't see us scoring too many either. I know we got a good win against Barnsley, but I'm convinced you could put 11, 12-year-olds and they'd have beaten that Barnsley team. So
yeah, they're pretty shocking.
I'm going to go 1. It could be 1-0 either way, but I think I've got to edge us just based on what you guys are going through at the moment. But this is the perfect game for you guys to turn it around, I do believe.
Yeah, it really is. But we said that a couple of weeks ago about that game, and then a couple of weeks before that. So every game at this point is a perfect game to turn it around, and just we'll see what happens.
I think that's all we've got time for. It's been a pleasure having you on, mate. Some really good takes there that I'm sure the Blues fans are going to love listening to. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow Blues Focus on social media. Be sure to give Dan and the Yellow Block podcast team a follow. It will all be in the description, I assume. Thank you so much for watching.